So, this is part one, guys, and I know a lot of people have a lot of questions. I myself personally have a lot of questions. I'm just gonna I did the two previous videos. As you guys can see, I don't really post like that. I'm not a big social media girl, but I know what the effects that social media have, and I'm just hoping that some type of justice can be had. Some type of justice can be had. When I did the put your finger down video, I just did that as like an attention grabber to like move traffic to my page so I could tell my story. But please, in no way, shape, form, or fashion, think this is a game or I take it lightly or anything like that. This is not okay. And I'm just now sharing after 7 months because the Miami Police Department just kept telling me, well, if you do anything, if you say anything, it's going to impede on our investigation. It's going to mess up the investigation. And I believed them like a dummy, like an idiot. I believed them. And I'm just going to, share as many facts as I can. Mind you guys, this happened in September of 2025. This happened in September of 2025. Babe, do you mind giving me that phone? This happened September 2025. Actually, it happened September 16th. And also, can you hand me those papers right there? So, and I was notified. I want to make sure I have all the dates right for you guys. I was notified. So September 16th, I had my surgery. That night, after I woke up out of anesthesia, I was in the hospital. Like, I couldn't talk. I couldn't eat. Even drinking water hurt like hell. Like, that's how inflamed my throat was. That's how much damage had occurred to my throat. And then it was, and Detective Diaz had reached out to me October 22nd. I remember because it was October 29th. I remember because it was the Wednesday before Halloween, as you guys can see. I just got my bachelor's degree and I was in class, and that's why I remember the date, because she called me while I was in class. I had to step out of lecture and go to the restroom, and she was like, "Oh, okay, I'll just call you back." So I'm thinking nothing of it, and she didn't want to tell me while I was in class because my reaction to anyone's reaction to find out that they had been raped by their plastic surgeon while being unconscious, like, she didn't want me to flip out like that in class. So I called her back after the lecture was over, and that's when she broke the news to me. I flipped out, and she said that they were going to start the investigation. But so September 16th, it was like a lot of ripping and running. Mind you, this is my wife, Jay. I don't know if you want to say hey. That's my wife, Jay. She was with me during the whole getting ready for the surgery and everything. Mind you, they allowed her to come into the building the whole time. You had to go through pre-ops. You had to meet with the surgeon. It's like so many loops and like avenues you have to navigate prior to having surgery. You have to do all this testing, everything. You have to sustain from sex. You can't smoke. It's so much that they have to do to make sure you're healthy enough to have a cosmetic procedure. This is not my first cosmetic procedure, so I was prepared to, do everything. So they let her come into the building, which we thought was so weird, because when they brought me out of the building, after the surgery and they brought me out of the building, they told her she can't come in. And I was still unconscious. I was still under anesthesia. Only reason I woke up a little bit is because how roughly they were handling me to get me downstairs, into the elevator downstairs and into the car. And I vaguely remember being awake for like 2-3 minutes. But prior to my surgery, this is the 15th, September 15th, I had to meet with Dr. Valadares, and I was like one of the last patients. It was a lady, the sweetest person I've ever met. Her name is Miss Tawana, and I can tag her as well. But me and her were the last two patients. We ended up becoming friends, and I'm a yapper. I make friends wherever I go. I'm such a girl's girl. I'm such a hippie at heart. I make friends wherever I go. And me and Miss Tawana, being the last people in the waiting room, we ended up chit chatting and becoming friends. But me and her were the last two. She was seen before me. I was the last person to go back and be seen. And this is when he makes you get undressed, and he just tells you everything that he's going to do for tomorrow. So I'm talking to him. We go into his office. He tells me to get undressed. So I oblige. I put on the little blue, like little, it's like paper, but it's like, what are they called? The hospital gowns. But it was a short paper made hospital gown. I put that on. I go into his office, and like I said, I was there for lipo 360 and the breast lift. So I had off my bra because I knew he had to examine my boobs for the breast lift, but I left on my underwear. I wasn't having a BBL. I was having lipo 360 and in the breast lift. When I got into his office, he noticed I still had on my underwear. He said, "Those have to come off." I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "Take off your underwear." And I looked at the nurse behind me, like, I was just looking, I don't know, it's like fight or flight. And so I looked back at her like, I don't know what to do, like, to see if it was okay. And she looked down at the floor like this. She immediately looked down at the floor. She avoided eye contact with me. So I was just like, I'm not having a BBL. And he was like, "Well, I still need you to take off your underwear." And so I immediately started crying. I started crying and I started shaking, and I'm standing there like this, and I go to remove my underwear, and he was like, "Wait, he goes like this. He says, "Wait, you're making me feel like I'm doing something wrong." First red flag. Just his choice of words. He was like, "You're making me feel like I'm doing something wrong." And I was like, I'm really uncomfortable. I don't like, I'm married. You get what I'm saying? I'm really uncomfortable. I don't want to expose my vagina to you you're a grown man. Like, I don't want to expose my vagina to you if I don't have to. And he was like, "Oh, okay, well, you can leave him on, but roll him down." And this is what he made me do, guys. I'm going to stand up to show you guys. So just imagine me. I'm standing in front of this guy. I don't have this on. I don't have on the top. I'm just going to tuck it under my bra. He made me, I'm not going to expose myself to the camera, but he made me pull my underwear down to here. So right before, if I was to open my legs, you guys will see my flower. He made me pull my underwear down to here to show him, like, I guess my hips. It didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me. Having me expose the top half of my vagina, it was completely unnecessary. It did not make sense. So he made me pull down my underwear, and he marked my stomach, and he was looking at my stomach and telling me like how the lipo was going to go and where he was going to take the fat and stuff from. So that happened, and we just talked, and he just made sure he cleared me for the liposuction. When coming to the breast lift, he kept trying to encourage me to get implants. I told him I didn't want any implants, and then he started explaining all the medical and like, I guess, like, surgical terminology about getting implants, and we just decided to not move forward with the breast lift because we was like, okay, we're just going to do the lipo 360, and if I decide to get my breast done again after how this surgery goes, I'll come back and do the breast lift, implants, whatever. That was the night before. And he just really made me uncomfortable. And what I took away from that night is not only how pushy he was and the fact that he made me expose my vagina to him, but also when he went into his phone to take pictures of my body, the before pictures, it was nothing but naked photos of previous women. Nothing but, and I was like, why save these? But he had nothing but a lot of naked photos of previous women that he, I guess, did surgery on. This is about to wrap up, so I'll go into detail about the leading up into the surgery. So after the night before, I was cleared for 360 lipo, and we were not going to move forward with the breast. So I get there the day before. I wasn't supposed to have surgery until the afternoon, but they called me and they was like, "Oh, Miss Watts, he finished up with the lady that was before you. He finished up with her. So if you want to come in sooner, you can. So I was like, okay, no problem. Let's just go ahead and get it over with. I came all the way from North Florida down to Miami just to have the surgery. Let's not prolong it. So we got me dressed. We packed my bag. I did not know that I wasn't going to be able to. They were going to take my phone and my bag as soon as I got there. I'm not knowing this because, like I said, I had a tummy tuck back in 2023, but I had that done by Dr. Jacobo Verone in Houston, Texas. And it was completely different experience, like completely different. They didn't take my clothes off or make me take my clothes off or do any of that prior to my surgery. He had took pictures of me. I'm getting off topic, but basically the situation with Dr. Verone was completely different, and that kind of put me on edge. But I'm very much a pushover, and I'm very much like timid in a lot of situations. So I didn't say anything, you know. And I sincerely regret not just getting my money back and not saying anything. And I think another thing is you can't get your money back or something like that. Anyone who's ever been to Vixen plastic surgery, if you pay, they make you jump through hoops to get your money back, or you waive the thousands of dollars that you pay for your surgery if you don't go through with the surgery. But and that's neither here nor there. So the day prior, the day of the surgery they call me in earlier. I get there. He comes in to speak to me. And the pre-consultation was supposed to be like, I want to say 15-30 minutes tops. He sat in there and spoke to me, no exaggeration, for almost 2 hours. He was telling me about how he owns a boat and he goes scuba diving, and how his son is 17 and how he's married. He rarely spoke about his wife, but he did bring her up, I think, like 1 or 2 times in passing, and how his son is 17 and that's his only child. And he just was chit-chatting with me as if we were long lost friends. I thought nothing of it. I think he was trying to make me comfortable with him, giving the tension and the energy between us the day before with him making me expose my vagina despite not having any surgery below the waist. So we sat there, we talked. I told him about, I have a 7-year-old. That's my best friend, my whole heart. I told him about my son. I told him about, you know, being in school and, you know, like pursuing the law degree. And I just, you know, I spoke about my wife and we just talked. And that's when we finally got into him. I had to get fully naked. Now they give you like these, they look like big face masks with the 2 little hook thingies, and one was supposed to go across my breast and one was like a pair of pennies, like the little surgical pennies, you guys know, like the little cheap like paper pennies. I had to put those on. He made me remove the pennies. He didn't make me remove the bra because we had already established the day prior that I wasn't having any type of breast surgery. We had already established the day prior as well that I wasn't having a BBL or any below the waist surgery. He made me remove the pennies. And I'm so mad at myself because, like, I should have just got out of there and I didn't. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna try my hardest to get through these videos, but anybody who's ever been a rape victim or a victim of sexual assault, it's like the memory, the hindsight is 20/20, and the memory of it is like I'm back there. I'm back in that situation. And I'm so mad at myself because I should have just left. I should have just left. I should have just left. And I didn't. And I gotta live with that. I gotta live with that. But he made me take off my panties. He was marking my body, and he was marking where he was going to make the incisions and all of that. And he kept writing on my butt. And he kept writing on my butt, no BBL, and like making, no, at first he started making circles and stuff on my butt for incisions. And I told him, I said, I'm not getting the BBL. And he was like, oh, right. But what pissed me off is he was just looking through my medical folder prior to picking up the marker and marking on my body, then the incisions where he's going to make the incisions. And then he immediately went to my butt after he made me remove my underwear. And so I was like, I'm not getting a BBL. And then he was like, oh, you're right. And he went back to my medical folder. He was like, oh, yeah, you were right. I'm sorry. I had so many clients today, so many patients today. You're just doing lipo. And I was like, yeah. He went back to my butt and he wrote on my butt numerous times, no BBL. And I was just like, you're having fun, aren't you? I said something like that, along the lines of that, like, oh, you're having fun. And he was like, no, I just got to let them know that we're not doing the BBL. When you go in to have your surgery, they just got to know no BBL. Okay, so this one is going to be a lot shorter than the other ones because I wasn't aware that part 2 cut out halfway through the video until someone commented. And it cut out when I was telling you guys that he had me naked inside the little pre-screening room, and he just kept writing in no BBL on my butt. But what pissed me off about that is prior to writing no BBL on my butt, he had my medical file open, like my little folder. He had my medical file open and he was going through it and, you know, seeing that I paid everything and seeing that I was clear for everything, and I did all my STD testing, all my drug testing to make sure I was ready for surgery the day of. So he was going through my medical folder. Mind you guys, like I stated in my previous video, the day before, he had already acknowledged that I wasn't having a BBL. I was just having the 360 liposuction, and I no longer was having the breast lift. So, and then we acknowledged that again in the room. So he opened up my folder and he was like, oh, you're right. You're only doing a 360 lipo. And I was just like disgusted and annoyed because like I hate when somebody try to play in my face. Like I hate when someone insults my intelligence, and you knew I wasn't having a BBL because you had just like literally less than a minute, seconds prior to you repeatedly writing on my butt and just touching me. You knew that I wasn't having this surgery. So he opens the folder again and was like, oh yeah, you're not having a BBL. And so he was like, well, I'm going to write no BBL here. And he just kept touching me, just kept touching my ass, like just kept touching my butt. He was getting a kick out of it. And then I said something along the lines of you're having fun, or, you know, like you're really enjoying this. I said something along those lines. And he was like, oh, no, I just got to write no BBL. So when you get back in the operation room, they know that you're not having a BBL, which also kind of just let me know that he was saying anything. Also pissed me off a little bit more because I'm just like, you're going to be in the operating room. You're the one who's doing the surgery. So who are they? Who are they that you're supposedly notifying that I'm not having a BBL when you're literally the one doing the surgery? So that happened. He finally stopped touching me, stopped touching my ass. We talked a little bit more of like what are my expectations after surgery, which the surgery was botched. Not so bad to the point of some surgeries that I've seen women like leave on his Facebook page and on the Google reviews, but I basically left looking the same way I went in. But yeah, so he spoke, but I caught a glimpse of his phone because he was like, he took a picture of my butt to show me. He kept trying to convince me to do a BBL. I did not want one. If you guys can see, I'm not going to stand up. I'm not going to parade around. But if you guys can see just from my thighs alone, like genetics, we don't need a BBL. Like we're good downstairs. So I did not want a BBL. So he was just showing me pictures of my butt. And then, you know, on iPhones, babe, can you give me my other phone? Uh-oh, be careful. You know, on iPhones, I'm just going to pull up a random picture. I pull up our Disney trip. So on iPhones, you see how that's just one photo, but when you swipe out of it, it shows you all these different photos. So that's what he did. When he had a picture of my butt in there that he had just took, but when he swiped out of it, I seen all these other photos, and it was nothing but naked women. Nothing but naked women. Most of them was African American or dark complexion. But it was nothing but naked women in his phone. And I'm assuming those were like previous clients. But my thing is, if you've already completed their surgeries, why are you keeping those photos? But but yeah. Um that's what happened. And we went into, after we spoke, he was like, okay, well, let's get you back to surgery. And a female nurse, it transported me like around the corner. So we walked out the little conference room, went down the hallway, and went down the corner, and that was the operating room. Like I said, my tummy tuck was done in the actual hospital. um but yeah, we went down the room, and when I went in, it was like this hospital bed but smaller, and it was like slanted, and it had these like little wings on it. And I was like, okay. So she told me to step up next to the bed, like to lean against the bed. The nurse did, and I already had like the catheter in my arm, where they had already been giving me IV like fluids prior. But you know how they can little twist the little thing off and switch out the IV bags if they need to. So I already had the needle in my arm and the little catheter thing. So she immediately hooked up another IV, and I guess this was like for the anesthesia. And she put something in the IV line, like I guess the anesthesia medicine or the sleeping medicine, something to knock me out in the IV line. But before the medicine fully kicked in, it was like a tall, I don't know what race he was. He looked at Hispanic, but like a dark complexion Hispanic guy. But he was tall, and he snatched my arm like this, and he put it on one of the wings of the table, and he was strapping me down. And I was like, wait, well, like, hold up, what are you doing? And she was like, oh, no, you're fine. He just have to secure you on the table. So he strapped me down. He gave me like this little weird look, and he continued to strap me down. Then he went to the other side, and they had me strapped to the table like this. And seconds later, everything went black. Everything went black. And the next thing I remember is waking up to these two women picking me up by the straps of my faja, aggressively like sliding my arms into my bathrobe and throwing me into a wheelchair. And I remember like them pulling me up and slapping me in my face saying, wake up, like pulling me up. And I remember like being pulled up to get, like, for them to lift me and put me in the wheelchair. And I, like, as soon as like I came to, because I was still under anesthesia, I didn't fully come off and under the anesthesia medicine until 4 hours later at the Airbnb. But as soon as I kind of came to, it felt like I had been shoved off the top of a very tall building. Like, I just felt like I was hit by a semi truck. Like, my whole body hurt, but I had excruciating pain in my private areas. And I was trying to speak, but when I went to speak, it hurt so bad and I couldn't talk. Like, it hurt so bad. When I went to speak, it felt like I was swallowing a piece of skin, like a piece of meat. Like a piece of meat was just stuck in my throat, and it hurt so bad I could not speak. And so mentally I started flipping out, because I was like, what the fuck? Why can't, like, where's my voice? Like, that's just like sitting here and saying, move your hand. Like, mentally telling yourself to move your hand, and your hand just stays still. And you're like flipping out, like, why can't I move my hand? So I tried to speak and I couldn't speak, so I immediately just started sobbing, because I didn't know what was going on with me, but I knew something wrong. And this was the first time in my life that something was happening to me, and I couldn't verbally defend myself or articulate that to the people around me. So I didn't know what was happening to me. It kind of felt like I was in a dream, like a drug-induced dream. And so they got me in the wheelchair, and I was just crying. I was sobbing, but in the middle of sobbing, I'll pass out again. And that's all I remember, passing out again, until the elevator ding at the bottom of the floor, and I saw my wife. So I'm sorry, you guys, that part 2 cut out, but this was basically me explaining to you guys what happened, like, of him touching me inappropriately prior to surgery. Just a little predatorial, like, mannerisms, and I don't know. It just was really weird and it was very uncomfortable. And I don't know if any women can attest to this, but you ever hear somebody say something to you or look at you a certain way and you just feel unsafe? Like they didn't even physically do something to you yet, but they said something or they smiled at you or they looked at you in a certain way and you can see the intent behind their look or their mannerisms. That's the best way I can explain it. And then we got me back to the surgery room. They strapped me down to this kind of like crucifixion type table, and I was out of it until they woke me up again. Y'all, look at this comment. I called the office because I'm scheduled with him for, I guess she was trying to say surgery. They said this happened years ago and the case was dismissed. Y'all, in order for a case to be dismissed, it has to go to court. My case has not even gone to court yet. So they're not referring to me. They're not referring to me. At the end of the day, this man, the Miami Police Department, when I came forward, and this was even before my positive rape kit and after my positive rape kit, they kept trying to make me think that I was the first person this has happened to and this was so unheard of. Thank you, Father God. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you, Jehovah. This is why I made these videos, because so many more women are coming forward. This is going to show a pattern that the Miami Police Department is covering this up. So many women, they try to make me think that I was the only person who reported sexual assault. This man has gone to court for sexual assault on his patients. This is nothing new. This is
RTC, how may I help you?
Hi, yes ma'am. I am trying to log in on Trackit and for whatever reason my password isn't working.
Your password isn't working. Okay, let me see. Let me log in and reset your password. Give me a second.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Oh, I think I got in, but for whatever reason, it's saying no kit, no results from the laboratory, no kit.
Not results. Let me double check. What's your name?
Myosha, Miosha.
Mioh. When did you come here? Do you remember?
It was you guys came over to the hospital September 17th, 2025.
September 17th. Okay. 2025.
It also, I'm looking at the timeline on the website, and it says that same day the kit is in law enforcement agencies' possession.
Okay, so yeah, because once they pick it up, it changes to their possession, and then they take it to the lab, and the lab is the one that analyzes everything, and the detective, receives the results of that, kit. We don't have access to see, and you won't see any results. It's just gonna say results are ready. Or something around those lines, but we don't really see a result. Can you tell me the kit number? It starts with FL, right?
Yes, FL 0000153347.
347. Okay.
So you guys can't see the results at all?
No, we don't have access to see those. Like, you can only see where it is, but it won't let you see any results for that.
So how do I get my results?
Through the detective. The detective is the only person that receives those results for privacy reasons.
Oh, that's insane. And what if, like, they won't give me the results? How do I go about getting them?
So you have to contact the detective. Do you remember who your detective is?
Yeah, I do, but I've requested it from my detective, and I have gotten no response. So how, like, this is my personal information. How do I do that? Do I contact the Florida Department of Health? Like, how do I go about that?
Then you contact the detective sergeant, the one above the detective. Since you're not getting a response from the detective, then you contact the next person in charge.
Okay. So as you guys can see, not only did I just call the Roxy Bolton and give them my rape kit information, but as you guys can see, Roxy Bolton Rape Center, 9/17/2025. My kit was collected the same day the police took it into custody. Your kit is being processed at the laboratory. Kit in the laboratory possession and it has been completed processing. It's finished processing. They won't release it. They're blocking it. They called me and told me that my kit was completed, but they won't release it. And as you guys can see, the lady said that they do this to everybody's information. So I guess they're just gatekeeping everybody's information. I don't know how that works. I'm not from Miami, don't live in Miami, so this was insane. I just thought this was insane. I've never heard of that before in my life, but I guess that's what they do in Miami. But I'm going to keep trying. I've been trying avenues, guys, to get this kit, but I'm going to keep trying, and I'm definitely reaching out to attorneys as well.
And then you contact the detective sergeant, the one above the detective. Since you're not getting a response from the detective, then you contact the next person in charge.
Okay. So everything is within the Miami Police Department?
Within the Miami Police Department, yes, because they are the only entity that gets those results. Not even the Department of Health. They don't have access to that.
Let me see.
Because it's the crime lab. It belongs to law enforcement.
Okay. Quick question. I thought, and I don't mean to sound ignorant, so please just bear with me because all of this is new. But I thought you guys get the results before they go to police custody.
No. So we only collect them. We don't get any results.
Oh, okay.
So we do the evidence collection, and then we release that to the police department. Okay? We don't have access to, a lab, that kind of lab, because this is the crime lab. So they have different testing techniques, DNA techniques, like they test for different drugs that the hospital doesn't really handle.
Okay.
So they, that's why they take on that kid, and they're the only ones that do this.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
No problem. So all the evidence from all the police departments, they go to that specific crime lab, and it's only one crime lab, and the detective is the one that receives those results.
And it's the Miami-Dade laboratory?
Right. It's called Crime Lab.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. No problem.
You have reached the Miami-Dade Police Department Forensic Services Bureau. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. For the Property and Evidence section, please hang up and dial 305-471-2900. For crime scene investigation, press 1. For forensic biology DNA, press 2. For firearm and tool mark identification, press 3. For the digital forensic section, press 4. For information on drug or trace evidence analysis, press 5. For fingerprint identification, press 6. For forensic imaging, including photography requests, press 7. For the Forensic Services Bureau administrative staff, press 8. If it is between the hours of 5 p.m. and 7 a.m., Wait while I transfer your call.
Forensic and Technology, can I help you?
Hi, yes, ma'am. I was referred to you guys by Roxy Bolton. They told me that you are the people I contact for a copy of my kit or to know the test results of my kit.
No, you would contact the lead detective.
What if the detective is not giving me that information, like providing that information to me?
They have to. That's the only people we provide the information to.
Okay, but they're not giving it to us.
Yeah, they're not giving it to me, ma'am. I even have email correspondence showing proof that they saying by law under some statute.
Right, but we can't. We don't release to the public. We can't do it. No,
yes.
It has to be through them.
Yes, ma'am. I completely understand. No, I'm not refuting anything you're saying or trying to dispute it. I'm just, if you could just bear with me and like, how do I go around that? Because I've reached out to the detective and the detective sergeant, and they both said under some Florida law that they don't have to give me my results, which I thought was not true. And now you're telling me they have to. So I know it's not true now.
Well, they're supposed to. That's who you go through to give that information.
Okay, so do I need to contact like the district attorney, or how do I'm so lost?
You can try that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can try that. I'm not sure which way it goes after that.
Yes, ma'am. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, because it kind of just sounds like you're not really sure. Is there anybody else that we could talk to that might be able to lead us in the right direction?
The only other people I can think of is the state attorney.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Good morning, State Attorney's Office.
Good morning. I am calling on behalf of myself. So I am trying to get a copy of my rape kit. The Roxy Bolton Rape Center referred me over to the Miami-Dade Crime Lab, and then the Miami-Dade Crime Lab referred me over to my detective, who I've been trying to go through to get a copy of my rape kit, but for whatever reason they won't give it to me, and so they referred me over to you guys. So how do I go about doing that?
Okay, do you have a case number?
I have, you say my rape kit number?
No, the case number for the case. Was someone arrested?
No, no one was arrested.
Okay, 1 second. This is a sexual battery case?
Yes, I guess so. It was being investigated. It was being investigated. The rape kit results came back. They notified me that the rape kit results came back, but then they never provided me with like a physical copy of it. And I've been requesting it for a minute, and I just can't get through to anybody giving me that information.
Okay, 1 second. Let me transfer your call.
Okay.
Good morning, State Attorney's Office.
Hi, good morning. I was just transferred over to you. Quick question. Are these phone calls being recorded?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just want to know that information. That's no problem. But I was transferred over to you guys. I'm trying to obtain a copy of my rape kit, but my detectives won't give it to me. So they transferred me over to you guys.
Okay, do you have a case number?
I do not have a case number. I have a rape kit number, but I don't have a case number. 1 second. I don't know if it's on this Roxy Bolton thingy from when the police picked it up. So 1 second. Let me see. Sorry about that. Is it supposed to be? Where is it? Okay. Yes, the case number is 250-91-7005-7922.
25091.
I'm sorry, what was that?
25091.
Yes, ma'am. Let me check again. I'm sorry. No, I think it's here. Yeah, 25091. Yes, ma'am. 70057922.
And is this a police case number?
I think so. City of Miami Police.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yes, ma'am. So I asked, was the phone call being recorded? Because under Florida law, you see, they didn't notify me that it was recorded. I had to request that information. But since she knows that the phone call is being recorded, I can record this phone call because now she's privy to it being recorded, and she even said yes, it's being recorded. So that's kind of like a safeguard for me. So while they got us on hold, I'm gonna just mute because I don't want them to hear anything in my background. Better let me get dressed and make sure you don't put the camera on me.
Okay. You want to pause the video or just keep it going?
You can pause it. Why she come back gatekeeping? I hope she's not, but I just know that she's reaching out to them. That's why she put me on hold for so long. She's reaching out. Now I could be wrong. She could be like just getting the information to provide it to me. I pray to God that that's the case, but you know, just after doing this for months and months at a time, I just know for a fact that 9 times out of 10, she's probably reaching out to them and saying, hey, we have somebody with this case number on the line saying that you guys won't give them a copy of their rape kit. You know, so.
This is Valerie. How may I help you?
Hey, Miss Valerie, I don't understand why I was transferred.
No, you weren't transferred. Jezebel, she ran the police case number, and it doesn't come up in our system. So, therefore, it's still with the City of Miami Police Department. Did they provide you any information that the investigation closed, or is it still open and pending?
No, ma'am. The detective notified me on the 17th that they were closing my investigation. As you know, today is the 24th. And I kept requesting a copy of my rape kit since they collected it. I think they got, I don't remember the exact date, but it was a couple of days after they collected it, which was September 17, 2025. I've been constantly requesting a copy of my rape kit, and they will not provide me with one. So the Roxy Bolton Rape Center referred me over to the Miami-Dade Crime Lab. Miami-Dade Crime Lab told me to follow up with my detective, and if I couldn't get anywhere with them, to call you guys. So, yes, ma'am, I'm just, I don't mean to be a nuisance, or I'm not trying to cause any problems, but I'm just following my chain of commands because I don't know how to get this information. Does that make sense?
Okay, we don't keep rape kits here. Once DNA is collected from the rape treatment center, the lead detective impounds that in his with his crime lab, with his evidence lab, and then therefore it's sent over to the Miami-Dade Crime Lab for analysis. We never get that information. The only time it's introduced to court is for trial purposes. Other than that, it's either maintained at the Miami-Dade Crime Lab or the Evidence Bureau with the City of Miami Police Department.
Yes, ma'am. I apologize if I wasn't clear before. I'm privy to all of that information. I know you guys don't physically have it here. The reason why they transfer me over to you guys is because the people who have the rape kit will not disclose that to the victim, which is my right to have that information. So since you guys
are you asking for a report of the rape kit from the DNA analysis? Is that what you're trying to get, a report?
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to get the results of my rape kit.
Okay, so this is what you need to do. You need to call that, because when they close out their investigation, they're supposed to make an appointment and come to the state attorney's office and turn in a complete copy of their file, their investigation file. Okay, and we do not have a copy of that investigation file with that police case number.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that detective needs to make an appointment and provide a copy of his complete closeout investigation file. Okay. And you can tell him you spoke to Valerie Ford of the Sexual Battery Unit, and she verified that they do not have a copy of the file.
Yes, ma'am. You know what?
They do not. They do not.
I'm sorry.
We do not have a copy of the file, and you can request a copy of the DNA lab report that should have been submitted to come back with a DNA hit or whatever the results would have been.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you.
Okay.
No, honestly, Miss Valerie, out of everyone I spoke to today, you've provided me with the most information, so I greatly, I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. I will definitely reach out to my detective again, and if not, is it okay if I call back if I don't get anywhere? I'll like in a month or two.
The only thing is, the only way our attorneys in the sexual battery unit can speak to victims, you know, when
Yes,
the
ma'am.
detectives have closed out their investigation,
Yes, ma'am.
they have to turn over their reports. If they don't turn over their reports, our attorneys don't have any information to go on and speak to you about.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, so
yes, ma'am.
that's why it's important that they turn over their findings and, you know, the legwork that they did during their investigation, as well as any lab results that, you know, anything that was sent to the lab for analysis.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I guess I'll follow up in a month or two to see if they closed it out.
Yeah, you can call and you can speak to any detective and ask them the status of that investigation, because you according to what you said in the beginning of the conversation, is that did you say they closed out the investigation?
Yes, she told me on the 17th, April 17th, that they were closing it out. So I don't know like what's going on.
And what's the detective's name?
Diaz.
That's a lady?
Yes, ma'am. Jasmine Diaz.
Jasmine Diaz. Okay, Jasmine Diaz. She knows the protocol. So tell her you called the state attorney's office and you spoke to Valerie Ford of the sexual battery unit, and our department does not have any. We do not have a closeout file for that investigation.
Yes, ma'am.
And let her know you wanted to speak to one of the attorneys to find out why was the case why it didn't move forward with an arrest or whatever. You have that right to be told. But at the same time, if you are requesting a copy of the lab report for the rape kit, they should be providing you with that. And if they didn't submit it for analysis, you're entitled to know that as well. So you just need to ask those questions.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
And she has a sergeant and a lieutenant that she has to report to, so you can go up the chain of command. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Miss Valerie. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay. You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay.
Girl, so I requested it. I've requested the rape kit from the lieutenant. I've requested the rape kit from the sergeant. I requested the rape kit from the detective, and as you guys can see, everybody is saying by law they have to give you that information. I told y'all this is a cover-up. People keep trying to make... Oh, here she go. Let me see. Hold on. So I wrote her. I said, good morning. Regarding our last phone call, you told me that the case is officially closed, and I don't know why I say dial. Officially closed, and I can request my file in 3 to 4 weeks. Quick question: will the rape kit results be in my file? It says style. I meant to say file. I don't see why they would not, but I'm just asking for clarification. When I say rape kit, I'm referencing both, because she told me that they retested my rape kit. I'm referencing both the results from September and the one that you guys stated that you retested. She said, yes, the laboratory documents will be included in addition to all written reports. Correction, the laboratory forms themselves cannot be included in the actual case file due to HIPAA policies. You're a fucking liar, bitch. I signed off. I signed off on all the HIPAA forms. They're protecting this man. They're protecting this man. You've seen that the district attorney's office themselves said that they had to give me these reports. They just keep lying. The file due to HIPAA policies, but I will include the results in my written reports. But again, that information will be redacted from any public request due to HIPAA. Furthermore, you may request the laboratory rape kit results with the barcode they provided to you upon the rape kit. Y'all seen I just did a video trying to get those rape kits and they're blocking it. Upon your rape kit completion, the request can only be made by you and via the website they provided at the hospital. That's crazy because I literally just got off the phone with the district attorney's office and they told me that you guys can, and by law, have to provide those documents to me. Period. I've already signed multiple HIPAA release forms for you guys, so I'm not understanding why you keep citing HIPAA when the HIPAA release forms have my information and wet signature on it. Period. Also, hold on, what else did she say? I have also reached out to Roxy Bolton, and I do still have that barcode from the hospital, period. And it opens up a report that states the Miami-Dade Police Department has your rape kit, period. It does not give me any test results because it says that they only do the testing and you guys do the testing. They only do the collecting. All due respect, I've reached out to the district attorney's office, the hospital, Roxy Bolton Rape Center, and also the Miami-Dade Crime Lab themselves, period. And all signs are leading back to you and your sergeant and your lieutenant. Everyone keeps stating that you guys have to give me that information, period. Also, the district attorney's office said that they can get involved once you guys completely close out the case and submit all the documents over to them, period. If I have any questions that I could follow up with them regarding everything in my file, period, including the first rape kit results. How much you want to bet she's not going to respond?
Yeah.
That's crazy because I literally just got off the phone with the district attorney's office and they told me that you guys can and by law have to provide those documents to me. Additionally, I've already signed multiple HIPAA release forms for you guys, so I'm not understanding why you keep citing HIPAA when the HIPAA release forms have my information in wet signature on them. Also, I have reached out to Roxy Bolton. I do still have that barcode from the hospital, and it opens up to a report that states Miami-Dade Police Department has your rape kit. It does not give me any test results because it says that they said they only do the collecting and you guys do the testing. Where is that? Testing. All due respect, I've reached out to the district attorney's office, the hospital, Roxy Bolton Rape Center, and also the Miami-Dade Crime Lab themselves. And all signs are leading back to you, your sergeant, and your lieutenant. Everyone keeps stating that you guys have to give me that information. Also, the district attorney's office said that they can get involved once you guys completely close out the case and submit all the documents over to them. If I had any questions, and if I have any questions that I could follow up with them regarding everything in my file, including the first rape kit results, once you guys submit my case file. She's not going to respond, y'all. She's not going to respond, but I will keep you guys posted when she does. Oh, said red. Red. Wait, hold on. Red, 10:06 a.m. Let's see if she responds. Babe, pause it so we can wait. Y'all, it's only been 2 minutes. But just me knowing her, she's not going to respond. So, yeah. But as you guys can see, I've called the Roxy Bolton. I logged in online. I called the district attorney's office. I've called the actual crime lab. Like, I've been doing everything. They are gatekeeping. They are blocking it. And then she keeps telling me that my file is closed. Today is April 24th. She told me my file was closed April 17th. But as you guys can see, that's not true, because the district attorney's office said that they have not submitted anything regarding my case file. So if she responds, I will let you guys know. But as of right now, she hasn't. She's not going to respond. I just know her. She's not going to respond. So I'm making this video in regards to the last video I just posted. It's like a screen share. You guys can scroll down, and I'm gonna let the internet do what the internet does. You guys do whatever you decide to do with those comments that these women are making. I want to start off by saying that I'm not deleting anybody's comments. That's a lie. I will start off by saying that the women who are commenting from real pages, you can't be the brightest, because most of the pages that are commenting negative comments are fake pages, and 9 times out of 10 they're probably his medical coordinators. Anybody who's ever went to Vixen Plastic Surgery knows that it's nothing but a lot of young, dumb, botched females that work there. So anybody, so a lot of the pages are fake pages. It's like little cartoon animals as the profile pictures and stuff like that. And the women who are on the real pages are just eating it up for whatever reason. I don't believe. One of them even said something about my wig. I don't think there's nothing wrong with my wig. I don't know how to do hair. I don't know how to do hair. This is a glueless wig. This is a pop on and go wig, because my hairstylist is out of town, and I thought I did a pretty good job. So, I mean, if I'm ugly to you, then so what? And then one woman, which is so disgusting, she said, what's so special about her? Bitch, you want me to brag about being raped? Do you want to be raped? Are you okay? Are you really okay? It's just the ignorant and the mean and the demonic. You know how miserable and sad and demonic you have to be to wake up out of your bed with your free will, the free will that God gave you, and comment stuff about that, about a rape victim? Comment stuff like that about somebody who's seeking justice. And then one of the comments even said, I hope Dr. Valadares sues her. I pray he does. I pray he does. I want him to respond, because at the end of the day, if he sue me, guess what? That rape kit has to go into discovery. If he sue me, if he comes after me, he has to prove, he has to disclose those video cameras. If he sue me, he has to offer up DNA so they can match it to the semen that was found in my cervix. Come on now, sue me, please. Please, baby girl, get him to sue me. And it's nobody but his medical staff. I'm not stupid. It's the dumb bird brain bitches who's helped covering up these sexual assaults. And like the girl on the phone said, oh, that case was dismissed years ago. Baby, that's not me. My shit happened 7 months ago. My case is still open, by the way. If you go and look at the videos I just posted, the detective lied. She has not closed out my case. And I didn't know that until I called the district attorney's office. My case is very much still open. They're very much trying to bury this, and I'm not going to let them. I'm standing on their neck. And for all you bitches lying, saying that I'm deleting comments, I'm not. I just screen recorded you. I want people to see how demonic and nasty you are. I want people to see how ugly and mean-spirited you are. I want people to see the type of people you are. And then got the nerve to be saying, I'm a girl's girl. A girl's girl would never. A lot of you bitches weren't slapped in your mouth as a kid. A lot of you hoes, your mama didn't tell you if you didn't have nothing to say, don't say nothing at all. A lot of y'all didn't have to pack church clothes over the weekend when you went to go stay night at your auntie house because she was going to make you get up in the morning with some catfish and grits on the stove and take your ass to church. A lot of you bitches don't own the Bible. So at the end of the day, stop saying I'm a girl's girl. You're not. You're a hater and you're rude. And to comment on my looks, I don't think I'm ugly. This face got me married twice. This face got me a baby. This face got me through what? I got 4 degrees. I got 4 degrees. Currently a law student. I don't think I'm ugly. I'm far from stupid. I'm far from uneducated. I don't care. He can sue me. I'm ready for everything. When I posted that video, I was ready for everything. But please stop lying and say I'm deleting comments. I'm not. I have nothing to hide. I've been posting everything. If you want to keep hiding behind fake pages, continue to do that. For the ones who's not hiding behind fake pages, talking about, oh, May dolls, are y'all ready? Please go. If you want to put yourself in that situation, you want to put yourself at risk, I can't stop you, baby girl. I'm not your mama. Please go. If you want to go, go. If you want to go have your surgery, have your surgery. I'm not deterring no grown-ass woman from doing whatever she wants to do. I shared my story. And the fact that me sharing my story has y'all so hot is very telling. And the fact that when I screen recorded y'all, most of y'all have kids. That's what's so sad. Most of y'all have daughters. That's what's so sad. Kids are like sponges. My son is not with me. I would never have a conversation like this around my son. My son is too young to have social media. If he did, he would be blocked on everything. He would not see it. I rarely be on social media like that. As you guys can see, before I started doing this story time, most of my videos was from years ago. And then one lady even commented talking about, oh, she said 3 weeks post-ops. Baby, I got money. That was my second cosmetic surgery. I have money. I got that tummy tuck in 2023. And it wasn't by the same doctor. That was the results from my tummy tuck. I went to go get lipo because I love to eat. And I got money. Who finna go to the gym when you got money? I love to eat. So guess what? I put on a little bit more weight and I decided to go to Dr. Valadares because everybody was just raving about him. But that's why you don't find your surgeon on TikTok. And that's my mistake. I found him on Instagram. So at the end of the day, I just wanted to make this video to address all the mean, hateful comments. You're not hurting me. I am in the talks with an attorney. I hope by the end of today, he agrees to represent me. Everybody keeps saying getting an attorney. I'm trying. You know, everybody keeps saying going to the news stations, go to the news stations. I'm in the process of doing that. Everybody keeps saying what they would have did and what I should have did, and it couldn't have been them. You can say that, but you never know what you'll do until you're in that position. I don't care what none of y'all say about me. And I like my wig. I got like 400 of them. My wife is tired of buying them. They're expensive, but I like my wig. If you don't, that's fine. It's not on your head. But to get on there and say the stuff that you say, I'm not deleting no comment. I want all the negative comments there. I want them there. I want people to see you for who you are. I want the world to eat you up, because I ain't even got to open my mouth. It's women that I haven't even met who just have beautiful spirits that every time y'all say something negative about me, they on y'all neck. I'm not deleting nothing. I don't have to defend myself. The Lord defends me. And at the end of the day, I screen recorded that video, not for people to harass you or nothing like that, but I screen recorded that video because when he is arrested and this case goes to court and they have to submit that fucking that rape kit into evidence, and they have to swab him and all the male staff at his facility for DNA to match it to the semen. I want you to know what side you chose. I want you to know that you were on the wrong side of history. I want this to be on the internet. Once it's on the internet, it's on the internet forever. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I have a master's degree. I'm far from psychotic. I have no history of mental health whatsoever. I went through something traumatic. I thought that the justice system was going to give me justice, hence the name. And when I found out that they weren't, and I went off what the detective said, saying that my case was closed, just to turn around and talk to the district attorney's office, and they told me that it's very much not closed. Another lie from a Miami police department. So it is what it is. But no, I'm not deleting comments. It's hundreds of comments on there. I think the video got close to 200,000 views, and that's only on one video. Multiple videos, I think all the videos are over like 6,000 so far, babe. Yeah, I'm not deleting comments. You think I got time to be going through deleting comments? I don't give a fuck what you say. I want it to be there. I want everybody to know you for who you are. I want your children to see this. I want fucking people at your church to see this. I want people at your kids' school to see this, to see what you said. I want future employers to see this. I want them to see the nasty shit you're saying. I want them to see how demonic you are. I'm not deleting nothing. I don't have time for that. But I am about to get off of this, and I am about to call the attorney back, and everybody who is for me, and everybody who is supporting me, and everybody who's praying, I greatly appreciate you. Like I said, it took an older black lady, because I respect my elders, and I do apologize for cursing for any elders who do see this video. I do apologize for cursing, but I do respect my elders, and it took an older black lady to tell me, sweetheart, post that GoFundMe. I do not want y'all money. Do not feel obligated to give. Trust me, I do not need y'all money. When I say God is my provider, God sustains me, I am good. I'm literally riding in the I'm sorry, y'all. I'm riding in the freaking Range Rover right now. Like, God takes care of me. I don't need y'all money, but if y'all feel led to give, it's up. And if the attorney takes my case pro bono and I don't have to pay him anything, all your money will be sent back to you. That's on everything I love. All your money will be sent back to you. But for everybody who is supporting, for all the other women, since I'm such a liar, for all the other women who have come forward as well and said that you guys have experienced similar situations and you have proof of it as well, and who will also be talking to the same attorney I'm talking to, I just can't wait for it to hit the fan, because I'm not the only woman who said that I was sexual assaulted. I think it's about 7 women in my inbox right now sharing their experiences with me. But all of this will come to the light. But if you guys want him to sue me so bad, please. My name is Miosha Watts, Miosha, last name Watts. He can sue me. I'm waiting on it. I just wanted to get on here and tell everybody thank y'all so much for all the support, all the encouragement, and just know everything is working out. I can't say anything else, but I love y'all and thank you so much. Hey y'all, this is gonna be my last video for a while, but somebody private messaged me from the UK, and he was like, sweetheart, this could be far-fetched, but I think you stated in one of your videos that you battled depression and suicidal thoughts after this whole thing took place, and rightfully so, and I did. But he said, they might, the bigger this gets, they might try to silence you, and they might use that as an excuse. So I do want to come on here and say I'm very much still alive. I do not intend on hurting myself or hurting anyone around me. I have an amazing support system. I have my wife. I have family and friends. I have people, like thousands of strangers on the internet, who have rallied behind me. I'm okay. I'm not okay, but I'm okay. I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm not suicidal. And I am in therapy. I've been in therapy since, I'm sorry, y'all. I keep pausing. I'm trying so hard not to disassociate. I tend to do that in like high stressful situations, but I have a therapist. My therapist is actually the one who helped me find my voice, and who actually came up with the idea once I immediately contacted her once the detective told me that they were closing out my case on the 17th. But as you guys can see, if you've watched all my videos, that I found out at the same time that you guys found out that my case is very much still open. She just told me that. I don't know why she told me that. But today is the 25th, right, babe?
Yeah.
Today is the 25th. You told me my case was closed on the 17th, but today is the 25th and it's very much still open. I don't know why she would give me that information. But yeah, I guess they're still investigating it and didn't want me to know they were investigating it, or I guess this is all speculation, by the way. I'm just trying to make sense of the breadcrumbs of information that the Miami PD has been feeding me. But I guess, I don't know. I guess I don't know why she would say that if it wasn't true. I guess she planned on just letting my case sit idle and not touching it. but she wanted me to think that they had closed it out because she thought I wasn't going to do anything. I don't know why they told me, you know. And I would like to say that my story that I shared is just from what I remember and what I went through. The having my uvula removed, I shared that. The waking up and the way I was feeling, I shared that. I repeatedly stated that I was unconscious for any assault that may have took place. So I cannot tell you what happened to me because I was unconscious. But we all know, as human beings with a brain, we all know that only one type of assault results in SE. I'm going to put an A in there, SEAMEN, being found in your body. It's only one type of assault. I can't punch somebody in the face and then that ends up in your body. You know, like I can't verbally assault somebody and then that ends up in your body. Everybody keeps saying that it was possibly from an incubation. Mind you guys, this is not my first cosmetic surgery. I've had incubation before, and guess what? When I woke up from my tummy tuck, my uvula was still attached. And incubation doesn't put SE. I'm going to throw another A in there so this video don't get flagged or anything, but SEAMEN. Incubation does not put that in your body. So I don't know what happened here, but I do know what happened there, because why would the detectives tell me that that was found in my body if it wasn't? You know, like they have no reason to falsify a RAPE kit. And I'm spelling everything because a lot of just ignorant people have been flagging my videos. So, but yeah. And so the fact that I had trauma there, it's not far-fetched to think that the same thing happened here, because I had to have my uvula removed, actually cut out of my throat, because it was like one yank away from being coming out anyway. So, but yeah, I appreciate all the support. And somebody even said that like I was trying to force myself to cry. If anything, I'm forcing myself not to cry. You guys got to understand that I've been dealing with this every day, nonstop, replaying the situation, reliving certain moments since September. You guys are just now finding out about this. So I've had 7 months to, you know, like basically go through the hurricane of emotions, get like shocked, like get rocked to my core with the results of the kid, fight the police department, you know, keep my mouth shut. You know, now I'm talking to all these attorneys. Thank you guys for sending attorneys. I did finally just make the GoFundMe. I have not touched any of that money. I don't need to. And if I find an attorney that would take my case pro bono, I definitely will be reaching out. I think I've heard this before. I don't know how true it is because I've never had a GoFundMe. But I think that like GoFundMe can send the money back to all of the recipients. So if I do get retained by an attorney who would take my case on contingency and, you know, like take my case pro bono, I will be having, you know, GoFundMe send all you guys your money back. I didn't want it to begin with. But I do appreciate all the support. I do appreciate everybody who's reached out to me, you know, like just praying for me, laying me before the throne of God. It's the best thing that anybody can do for me. Like no amount of money, no amount of hugs, no amount of like just verbal support can outweigh what God can do. And it took a lot to come on here and share my experience and just say what happened to me. Everybody keeps saying go to the news station, but the news station is like has a far wider audience than, you know, just I don't have any followers. I didn't even have 1,000 followers to be able to put the GoFundMe in my bio prior to this. I don't do social media. I don't like attention. Like, so this is really hard for me. It's really messing with my mental health, especially with all the nasty comments. And I don't want to go on the news. I don't want to be known as the girl who's raped by her surgeon or somebody at her surgeon's office. I don't like all the attention. I don't want my family, you know, like I don't want that because people are evil and people are ignorant, and I'm being attacked for sharing that I was possibly sexually assaulted, not possibly sexually assaulted, because how did that end up in my cervix? But This is just too much. I appreciate all the support. I really do. But this is just a lot. This is a lot. So I'm gonna take a mental health break from this. And for the people saying, oh, you care about the negative comments, and, you know, for the people doubling down on their negative comments, you guys want me to be sexually assaulted. You guys want me to take on the whole justice system. You guys want me to be verbally and, like, emotionally assaulted by strangers on the internet and then take it on the chin. I'm human. I'm only human. I put on a brave face and I act like I don't care, but I do. And this is a lot. This is a lot. And I'm trying so hard to keep it together and get justice. But this is a lot. I'm sorry. I'm trying to calm myself down. This is a lot. And for the women who are leaving hate comments and verbally attacking me, I'm not attacking the doctor. I want answers. I want the video footage. I want them to give DNA samples so we can match it to the semen. And I want to know what happened to me. I'm not trying to attack anybody. I need answers. It does hurt what you say. It does hurt what you guys say. You know, this is why so many women don't come forward. Because we're already experiencing the trauma from the assault. And now we have to deal with this. It's a lot. Please be mindful of what you say to people. Because you never know that your words could be like, you know. Just be decent human beings. But this is going to be my last video for a while. I am reaching out to attorneys. I will let you guys know when I obtain counsel. I just want to say thank you for all of the support and thank you for all the people